Hey guys, Lotus Streams here, coming at you with another Warhammer 40k battle report, and this time we got the fourth mission of Path to Glory. Path to Glory is a campaign where the Chaos Lords get growing armies as they try to achieve the most favor points and ascend into demonhood in the end. As you can see, we have 3 points for Nazuroth, Arneus, the Corruptor, which is this guy here on his disc, and 2 points for Gurax Mortagon the Bloated, which is the Nurgle Lord equivalent to the sorcerer that he is. As you can see, we already have a few followers here. So we have a unit of Screamers and no additional second unit because he has a lot of more war gear than Gurax has. And in the last mission, they got a Soul Grinder to their warband and Warp Talents. Then on the other side here we have Raptors, we have a champion with a power sword, we have 2 guys with melter guns, and we also have the Icon of Wrath, and the rest comes as stock, 9 Raptors total, and then 11 Furies with the Mark of Nurgle, of course, as everything has to have the upgrades of their respective gods. And then the latest addition, 3 Mutilators and a Hellbrute. Hellbrute has a last cannon, as you can see, and also a rocket launcher, which you can't see, but he has it. And now we're gonna add to the armies. As for every mission, we gotta roll off who is deciding to pick the unit, and with that, most of the time also decide the point cost, because there has to be equivalent point cost, as I already decided before. Alright, so it looks like Gurax is gonna pick the first one. So now we have to roll in what he gets. He gets third and second. Okay, let's check the table. Third and second looks like Chaos Space Marines. What is it? Yep, Chaos Space Marines with the Mark of Nurgle, of course, because we have to give them the Mark of Nurgle. And that means we have some point decisions to make. But first of all, we have to check what the other side has, so I can adjust the points just fine. We have number 4 and number 1. Number 4 and number 1 is gonna be Blue Horrors. Okay, that is pretty easy. So Blue Horrors are very, very cheap, and they will basically decide the max amount of CSM you can get, but as for upgrades and everything, you have free choice here. So we're gonna take, as we already have some melter guns, I feel like taking some heavy weapons more like, yeah, I think so. So we're gonna take a plasma gun, and then the rest I think normal dudes, and obviously a champion. Makes sense. So 3 normal dudes, plasma gun, and a chaos champion. The question is, do we give him an upgrade or do we not? I think that depends a little bit on the amount that the blue horrors cost, because we don't want to give them like a whole bunch of them if it's possible. So let's see. Blue horrors are very cheap. They're 50 points for 10 guys, so we can imagine how much Chaos Restaurants you can get for that. Not too many, I can tell you that right now. But let's see if we can make it work. So CSM with Plasma Gun and a normal Aspiring Champion is 90 points. And that means we add 20 Blue Horrors for that. Seems like a okay deal, because obviously that's a bunch of Blue Horrors, but then again, Blue Horrors are toughness 2, so they're not necessarily very combat effective, but they're very good at blobbing stuff down, basically. That will be their main purpose. So this is the CSM squad. Add them over here. More in this row, because this is the demons. Add them in here. And then we have 20 of these little buggers. The big upside for the blue horrors is they will have a power, and that power will be a constant. So they're gonna roll on demonology because they already know the primaries of Zinj, and since they can decide to roll on whatever discipline they want, they were gonna have the primaries thanks to Chaos Focus, and they also were gonna have normal Psychic Focus because they choose all their disciplines from the same, all their powers from the same discipline, and the Chaos Focus is automatically generated, so that's not a choice, and so it doesn't count against the focus. Alright, so they're gonna go for Demonology, obviously, because we have some really, really good synergy with Cursed Earth here. Those are demons, 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 demons. The entire army is basically a demon, even though these guys are out of the CSM Codex. So it makes sense. Alright, let's see it. What do we get? We got a bad one instead. They can still keep it because they still get summoning as their primers. And it doesn't make sense to change that for anything, but this is not necessarily something I would use. So they know P1 Zinch. So it's Flicker Fire, Flickering Fire of Zinch. We also have not Possession. The Possession is the wrong one. Summoning, and they know. Actually, it's Power 0, isn't it? So let's name it Power 0. And the third one, which is, I think, Infernal Gaze? Gaze or Gateway, I don't remember. It's not a very good one, but I mean, you can use it. It's just a Witchfire power, basically. We'll see how often they can get to use it, because he has all the powers from Biomancy that are important. And most of the times, Biomancy beats everything else in terms of point cost. Alright, so let's go to the actual mission here. Today we have a very weird one, but it is actually very, very simple to play, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun because you get to see some models that you usually don't, which I always find nice, and I think that's one of the main selling points of Paths to Glory anyway, that you play stuff that you usually would not play, with upgrades you would not play, because it's random after all. Alright, so the mission is pretty clear. We are in a city here, the city of death scenario, because we have big buildings and line of sight is severely broken. And that is perfect because these guys are always are in search for more power, and as they search these ruins, they grow so much in numbers and they grew so powerful that the Imperium actually decided that they want them removed. And as such, they're sending assassins, and in this case, all 4 kinds of assassins. I love playing those guys, and I wanted to implement some on the mission, and these make the perfect scenario. So basically, all of these guys want to do is they want to take out the warlord. So in this case, they want to have Nosroth and Gurak's head. Because obviously, if we take them out, the warband is probably gonna try to get some new leader or something like that, and as such they will fight each other more than anything else, and that is always the idea when sending assassins. So I basically prepared 5 assassins of each kind, and both sides will be attacked, and they both have a starting point here. So basically you can deploy wherever you want to in one of the house, which I'm going to roll off. As you can see, this is the line, and you can deploy anywhere you want. Assassins will always have the first turn, and they will always stay on their side. So there's basically a team for each of them that attacks. Now, usually, fluff-wise, let me explain real quick, you would never send so many. But in this case, we're just going to assume if they get killed that they actually manage to escape, since they're assassins after all, they're very, very quick infiltrating and so on. So we assume they return for another round and so on. And as such, I will not deploy all assassins at the same time or per round, but I'll send them in as soon as they die. So basically, there's always 4 assassins in the field. and the only objective is that the Chaos Lord has to survive. If both Chaos Lords survives this thing, the one that is less injured is gonna win it, obviously, because he's not dead. And he's not injured either, so he can go with his full force and gather some more forces, and if not, then the other one is probably gonna win anyway. Um, Assassins have all their respective rules, except they count as a formation. In this case, there's only one benefit. They all have preferred enemy against the warlord, so against Nazuath and Guruksk, since they're both warlords of each war band. Preferred enemy helps a ton because you can get to reroll once and everything. And another special rule here is the squad of the warlord and himself obviously can never engage combat on their own with the enemy army, because they're basically busy fighting the assassins. The Lord is busy hiding, and his troops are hopefully also trying to help him, but troops can attack other troops of the other kind and leave it as long as they're not part of the warlord. So you can try to send the Furies over and blob up some guys that want to shoot, or maybe annoy the soul grind a little bit. That is totally allowed, and obviously Chaos Lords are always in a constant fight against each other, so it would make sense that they would try to screw each other over by making them an easier target for the Assassin Squad. And but other than that, they obviously try to stay alive, and it wouldn't make sense for them to go themselves and do all the dirty work. They would rather send somebody else or interrupt them with some of their minions instead of their own hide, which they're going to try to save. Alright, so very simple scenario. If none of the warlords is dying, the game simply ends upon destruction of all assassins, which I'm not gonna doubt that happens because they are pretty nasty guys. Assassins have basically free play. I'm just gonna try to make it as fair as possible and see if the assassins just go for the one shot, or if they actually need to survive, then they will attack something else and gang up on squads or something like that. But other than that, obviously their main priority target is the warlord. They're not gonna hide somewhere and just shoot them down until the Chaos has nothing left. That's not the kind of gameplay we're looking for. We're looking for a assassination and not for a camp. Alright, so let's see who has what side, or what half of the table, because there's no deployment zone whatsoever. Okay. One over here, one over here. Okay, looks like Nadurov can decide his deployment, and I'm not sure about that one. Probably here, because this is a good hiding spot where you can hide up here. And this side is also pretty nice because there's very, very few firing corridors for the Windy Care. And I don't know, this side, I think this one would be the better side, I assume. I'm not sure about that one though. But I mean, he's assuming as well, right? And then also, who's going to deploy first? Which is not as important this game, but still makes sense because we have to decide who has the first turn. And obviously the first turn can be deciding as if all the assassins are dead, you automatically win. Because you can't possibly take any wounds anymore and so on. So in most of the cases that is a sure victory. Okay, let's deploy them. Now, Northuros has one big problem here. He has the more quality army, basically, because the Soul Grinder is pretty much unkillable. I mean, you can kill him with assassins, but it's pretty hard. It's one of the toughest targets you can attack, because they're not very good anti-vehicle. And second of all, everybody here is a demon, so you cannot join them unless you have demonic instability. These guys are also demons, but at least they don't have it, so he can finally join the squad after all that time. But it's not a very good one, I'd say. I would prefer some raptors instead, because there's simply more bodies, and Warp Talon in the end die as quickly as other CSM. Okay, so we're gonna deploy him and his posse first. Now we have to decide, do we try to take it up here? Because obviously we're gonna get shot all the time if that happens. We can't react. On the other hand, if we deploy over here, the close combat assassins all have a very good chance of actually making it into combat before we can hurt them, which is like a big issue because they have so much attacks. I don't know. It's very dangerous to come into close combat with something like that. Um, that's a little bit iffy. And then third, do we want to interrupt this army somehow? And what do we send to interrupt them? It's a good question. So Dreadnought has the same thing as the other part here, the Soul Grinder, except the Soul Grinder can actually punch him close combat. So I could send the Soul Grinder over there, try to take him out, but I think I have to keep my Warlord alive, so I'm gonna keep him with him. I'm gonna try to hide here, I guess, because I really enjoy not getting attacked from afar, and basically the Vindicator has to come pretty close to in order to shoot him, which he can. He has a pistol after all, but not that easy. The Soul Grinder is gonna stay on here. Actually, no, I lied. I'm gonna keep him here. The issue is he can't get up and down very easily, and he has a bigger line of sight blocking than the other stuff. And the exact opposite applies for the Screamers. Screamers will take the high ground here and try to make sure that nothing crawls up over that roof without getting attacked first. And since they have a lot of wounds and good invuln saves, they can deal with assassins just fine. They have no issues against them. And they are also not very worried about shooting at any case. So Grinder has to hide here, for example, because there is a less cannon on this Hellbrute, and he could get hurt by that one pretty easily. More easily than anything else. And then I think the Horrors will just do the blobbing and hopefully make sure that no assassin gets through the line of bodies, and they can try to summon in some more to make it even harder to get around that flash height, basically. Okay, that is the deployment, and then over here we have to decide again. Does he join the Mutilators? Because they have 2 up armor saves, but it doesn't really help much against assassins. They have multiple wounds, so they have 6 wounds, but this wound pool is a 9, so I think this wound pool is better for now. And then if we get going, we should be fine with the Mutilators. We cannot join the Furies, and I think I'm just gonna send the Furies to distract these guys, because Furies are so bad at doing anything that I probably would like to send them over there to use their mobility and distract the Blue Horse, for example. So I'm going to deploy the Furies inside of these ruins here. Being Demons of Nurgle, they have a 2+ cover save, so it's very bad shooting at them. And they get over there and try to harass the Tzeentch side a little bit. A little bit close, there we go. That's the furthest they can go. And then these guys, they have to choose another fortress of chaos. Now this one here is pretty cool because it doesn't have any line of sight for the Vindicare. But at the same time there is no cover here, so I don't know. It's a bit iffy. I think we're still gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. After all, we have a bike and everything, and we are a little bit more mobile than the assassins, so we can try to escape. And the good thing about the Raptors is they have melter guns, so they're really good at killing assassins that come too close, because they can instant kill them. It's only a 50% chance because they have invuln saves, but after all, that's a pretty good idea. By the way, all assassin rules will be applied, so what I will do over there as well, I'm gonna spread them a little bit, because the Kaiser's assassin is gonna eat them alive if they clump up too much, and the same applies here, so we will drop it a little bit further. In case you don't know the rules for her, I made a review recently, if you want to watch that. Can only recommend it if you want to get updated on rules before. If not, you will see it while the game goes. But one of her rules is that you can infiltrate within 1 inch of any model on the board. So you have to keep some bodyguards around, otherwise this doesn't work. And she has a AP2 Flamer template, so pretty nasty stuff. and not really something you would like nearby if you're fighting assassins. So no blobbing up if possible, especially if you don't have in-one saves, and these Marines certainly do not. So we have to be very careful there with the deployment. Okay, then over here, also gonna hide some Marines in the ruins so we at least get some cover saves of some kind. And then we're gonna stay close to him here to get our benefit. And the mutilators are basically the best choice here to just stay around and kill something. They have really, really good armory against most targets, even assassins, and they will be very useful when killing stuff. Now let's see, can we see the soul grinder? We can see one leg. So we're gonna use that with the Hellbrute and gonna take our fire corridor over here so we can take a shot at him. He's too far away though, so we have to deploy much closer if we want to do it. He has only a harvester cannon, so he can't really hurt me. I think I'm fine with going a little bit more aggressive here. So Hellbrute has line of sight to him. Okay, that is it. Now the assassin's deployment is different. Now first of all the assassins can deploy as they want to, and they will not count as having outflanked if they walk in from that board edge, because they were there already, they already infiltrated, except the Calidus Assassin. I'm not gonna let the Calidus Assassin charge the first turn, that wouldn't make any sense. The issue is the Calidus Assassin usually has this ability, but for fluff reasons I think it's only fair if we say everybody knows each other in the warband so well that she probably couldn't have replaced one of them, which is what usually happens with polymorphine. So we're just going to assume she's nearby and she's attacking, and she was basically replacing one of the guys that wanted to join the warband, and then she comes in. So everything here that can outflank, they can come in from any edge that they want to, and they can charge actually in that turn as they want to, but I'm only gonna let them come in from these big wall edges, so not from here, because it is a little bit too dangerous. Alright, obviously we can still infiltrate and everything if we want to, and I will infiltrate the Vinicel, because that makes sense. He's not only assassin, he's a sniper, so it would make sense that he would have chosen his position before anything happens, because that's how they do it. I'm going to deploy him right here, because that's where he has line of sight. He has 72 range, so he's well in range of anything, and he's not too close to anything else, so he can take some pot shots at the Hellbrute, and then everything else is probably gonna outflank as normal. Okay, that is it, and let's go to the first round assassins. I'm not gonna choose the order for those assassins here because that doesn't make any difference, I think. It's gonna end on a chaos turn no matter what. Okay, I think the Calidus assassin is probably gonna walk in from here, because he has a nice template as I already mentioned, and it is pretty powerful, and she might not be able to do much, but at least she can damage that squad. The Colexus assassin isn't as relevant here because they don't have any Psychers, and what he has shooting, it doesn't necessarily have to get into close combat. So I think I'll keep pretty much away from the mutilators, because the mutilators can hurt him pretty badly, and he doesn't like that. Okay, the only guy that needs to be up front is my Eversor assassin, because he needs to get into the thick of it, and I think he would like to have a talk with those mutilators if possible. But it's a very long charge, and I don't think he can make it, but it is a little bit risky. So I'm gonna send him into these guys here probably. So let's send the Calidus over here. like so, and then he can attack these guys here. Alright, that is it. Let's see if they can survive. So first of all, the Calidus. Actually, first of all, we're gonna start with the Psychic before I do anything else. So the we have to see how many warp charges they get. They get 3 warp charges. That's all the Colexus can use. And he's gonna fire his Animus Speculum at Gurax. He gets his 3 shots, hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s because of preferred enemy, which he still misses. And his strength 5 against toughness 5, so wounding on 4s. And there's no cover, so it's going to take out one of these guys, but they have no pain because they are part of the Death Guard. Yay, no problem. Okay, so that means we have shooting phase in general, which is going to be a template from the Calidus with the Neuro Shredder. And she's going to hit 3 models here. So 3 models wounded on a 4+, because it is a 4+ always. And it is AP2, ignoring covers, so we have a Pain on the first guy, and that kills him. Blah. Alright. Next, the Aversor Assassin is going to fire. He gets 4 shots with his pistol. He's going to choose the poison pistol. I'm going to take pot shots as the CSM here. He also hits on 2s. And he wounds on 4s thanks to poison. And that is 0. My goodness, he's not good at wounding. Was probably all poison or something. And then finally the Vindicator is going to take his shot at the Hellbrute. Because we know Assassins are not that good against this kind of stuff. And he can actually break it. So he's going to use the Turbo Penetrator round. And given his one shot, all he's got. And he hits. Alright, so strength 10 in 12 on the side, I think. Let's check, because I rarely play Hellbrutes. I'm not too familiar with those. Hellbrute has 12 on the side, so it's a 2 to glance. And it's a pen. It does not have any cover, because he has clear enough sight to the body of the Hellbrute. And let's see what happens. It's AP2. That is a stunt. Alright, so Hellbrute takes 1. Does anything happen to him in that case? I think he just gets crazed because he suffered a penetrating hit. So at the start of next movement phase, there's something gonna happen to him because he gets mad. But he's still alive. He is not dead yet, so I guess that's good. And that is the shooting phase. So next thing is the assault phase here. The Calidus, does the Calidus actually want to charge here? I don't think so, to be honest. I think I'm just going to charge the rest. So the Colexus and the Aversor will attack the CSM, I guess. Because the Colexus shot at something else in the Psychic phase, so it doesn't count for shooting. He can also throw his grenade, but I'm not going to bother. It's not going to hurt anyone because it's only strength 2. So, no. Doesn't work like that. Okay, so we have these guys here firing Overwatch. Gonna charge this squad here with the Aversor first, because he has Pain. So we get 2 shots with the plasma gun, no hits. And then 8 shots with the bolt guns, 1 hit. Wounding on a 4, with a 4+ invuln, and a Pain. The Aversor right away takes the first wound to the face, and then he's automatically in. Yep, chip, right there. And then the Colexus will also declare a charge. 9 inches is already in. Okay, that's all the charges I'm going to declare. So next we have challenges to do. The Colexus is going to declare a challenge, and the champion has to accept because he is a champion of chaos. And they are fearless, so they don't have to check for fear, although he causes fear. And they have the same initiative, so I'm going to go with the Colexus first in the challenge. He has 4 basic attacks, 5 on the charge, weapon scale 8, so hitting on 3s. And wounding on 5s because they're toughness 5 and he has this base strength 4. But he has he ignores all armor saves, so no wounds, but they would have ignored his armor, so no, only feel no pain. The Verso Assassin is gonna pie into the squad because he's not part of the challenge. He has 4 basic attacks, +1 for close combat, and +3 for charging with friends on, because he's pumped up, he's ready to fight. And he also has the same profile, so also hitting on 3s and missing pretty badly so far. Yeah, still not that good. And he's going to use his power sword because he has furious charge, so he's still wounding on 4s and also ignoring armor saves. It's 1 wound with pain. Nope, that is 1 dead marine, but nothing else because they really failed with the wounding. All right, so initiative 3, the aspiring champion is gonna fight. He has 2 attacks, I believe. Yeah, he's a new one, so he has 2 attacks base, and he's gonna hit on 5s, nothing, because he's always counted as weapon skill 1. And then the rest obviously would pie in. Whoops, not that guy. That's the wrong one. He's gonna jump down, this guy's gonna pie in. So I have 3 guys onto the Eversor. 1 attack each, and also hitting on... Actually, they're still hitting it on... Yeah, they're still hitting it on 4s because they have not more than double difference, and they don't wound him at all. Okay, so there's combat, but they are fearless, and nobody has hit and run, so we just stay locked in combat, we pie in another time, and that is that. Okay, next assassins. So next row of assassins is going to deploy. Obviously the Vindicator is going to take the nest over here. Has some good line of sight to everything. And then we have to see where do we want to deploy the rest. Now the problem is there's a bunch of blue horrors here. That's bad for assaulting. On the other hand, with demonic instability, I might be able to take them out before they can blow out anything else. So I believe I'm just gonna send everything else into that squad and try to take out as many as I can to get through the squishy bits, the non-demonic squishy bits. So deploying right here with the Neuro Shredder in max target range. Eversor coming in here and Colexis coming in there. Let's see how many dice the Animus Speculum has. Only 1 shot, okay. Gotta make it count, right? So 1 shot, hits on a 2 and wounds on a 2. With a 5 up. And that is a dead blue horror. Blop. Issue is, we're gonna summon in some brimstone horrors instead. Because if you destroy demons, and especially these kinds of things, they multiply. Which is obviously not nice, but it's just a normal unit of blue hordes, and they always have that, so we're just gonna play it as if it was a normal unit. No difference is made here. Where is my horrors? So with that, I need to get my brimstone horror model. Got it. Got it. And blue horrors, luckily for the assassins, have a conversion rate of 1-to-1. So we're just gonna get 1 brimstone base with 2 wounds, which mostly doesn't matter because they have very low toughness. So I'm gonna put it right here again, replacing that guy. That brimstone horror unit is also gonna generate a power. That one is gonna be randomly, by the way, every time, and they get dark flame. Okay. Next is shooting phase. So the Calidus is gonna pull out her Neuro Shredder and try to burn some non-existing nerves. And looks like we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. 7 hits. Again, wounding on force, because it is always wounding on force, unfortunately. That's good wounding though. Better than last time. And all of these are demon saves. That is 2 more dead. 1, 2. And that adds 1, 2 more brimstone hammers. Okay, next is the Eversor Assassin. He has 4 shots. Hitting on 2s. Rerolling to 4s because of ballistic skill 8. And wounding on 2s because they are toughness 2. And that is 4 wounds with 5 ups. Ooh, only 1 dies. Okay. So he's dead, and Brimstone Horror here. Alrighty. The Vinicare is gonna take a shot at this squad here, because this guy has less guys in one unit, and we can thin them out very quickly, so he's gonna take his best shot at the Warp Talents. Alright, so still gonna use Turbo Penetrator, because we want to cause as many wounds as we can. Hitting on a 2, and wounding on a 4 thanks to Sniper, and we fail. Okay, it was a gamble, but what are you gonna do about it, right? So one of the shots failed. Okay. No leadership test or anything required as a demon, so no difference. Gonna charge with the Codexus. It looks like a fail to me. Yeah, that is a fail, because he cannot charge. Actually, he could have charged these guys, but I would have charged the Blue Horrors, I think. Just regardless. Yeah, I would. So in this case, he fails his charge. The Eversor. Oh yeah, rolls 3d6 for charge distance, so we add 1 more. So that's enough. He goes around and engages the Blue Horse. And then the Calidus Assassin is also going to charge 2d6 with Fleet. She's got it. She didn't need much. Right in there. Okay. That means we have... Actually, before we do that, in this case, I actually want to use my Psychic Grenades. The Colexus Assassin has special grenades that can cause Perils of the Warp, which is really, really good, and they have pretty crappy strength, but which doesn't really matter because those guys are blue horrors, right? So he can throw these and actually do something, because those are psychers he's targeting. Alright, he has 1 shunt with this. Let's see. This is K8 is a direct hit, obviously 3 hits, so wounding on force because it is strength 2. And their toughness is 2. Rerolling once though, because he has preferred enemies Psyker. Rerolling. And they get their demon saves. That's 2 more dead. Actually rerolling once because they're Zinch. Oh, that's 1 dead. Would have been this guy, I guess, and then replacing him. And the Kaitis would still make it. Perils of the Warp on them. What happens? Ooh. That could have made a difference here. So that's a 1. That's a leadership test. Now the big thing here is the Colexus Assassin causes -3 leadership to all Psychers within 2 Avengers, and these guys are for sure Psychers. So they are on leadership 4, I think. I think there's 7 normally. Ooh, I think they make it. Let's check real quick before I miss something. Blue Horrors are leadership 7, yeah. So they're down to leadership 4, and they pass. Otherwise they would have taken a bunch of wounds. But instead they're gonna take 1 wound on the 3rd group on this guy. Chip. Adds 1 more Brimstone Horror. And now we're done with the actual shooting. Okay, that was making a big difference there. Should have done that before. Okay, he still would have failed the charge though, no doubt about that. Alright, let's start with the Eversor Assassin. Again, he has 5 attacks Because of close combat weapons and 3 attacks in addition for charging. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. Yep, that is all wounds, because he's gonna obviously use his Fleshbane Shred, because these guys have invuln saves and don't have any armor saves. Talking about invuln saves, let's see how many die. Rerolling once, because Demons of Tzeentch. That is 4 dead blue horrors. 1, 2, 3, 4. More brimstone horrors. 3, 4. And then the Calidus Assassin goes at the same time. She's got 6 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s, and no precision hits, so... Oh, come on. Nice. Okay, so we wounding on 2s here, because they have toughness 2 and she has strength 4. This one is a phasing hit that doesn't allow any invuln saves, and these 3s are just normal wounds with invuln saves. So it is 3 pink horrors, blue horrors. 1, 2, 3 blue horrors. 1, 2, 3. And 3 brimstone horrors. And then on initiative 3, I think the blue horse will try to pie in. And as you can see, they can't, because they blocked them. They got blocked here by the brimstone horse. 1, 2, 3. We would still pie in afterwards, no matter what. But as you can see, they lost combat by a ton, and they basically need double ones to stay. Otherwise, demonic instability is gonna take them out. So let's see what happens. Oh, almost. No, they didn't make it. So it's 5. So 5 guys die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brimstone horrors. And then they would stay. Now, obviously, we would pie in, but we can't make it. And at the end of combat, combat is over. So Calidus Assassin consolidates 4 inches to here, and the Everso Assassin 6 inches to here. I'm just gonna move a little bit back because of the screamers. Okay, that is all that happened. As you can see, it's a bunch of brimstone horrors going on now. But we decimated the blue horror squad in one go, and that was basically in the entire meat that protects the big squad from getting attacked. But on the other hand, the warp tanks can deal some damage. They have good invuln saves, so we'll see about that. Okay, that is it. So that means that we have Tzeentch Chaos turn 1 here. Let's see how we do this. The good thing is the Screamers can actually deal a lot of damage without actually touching these guys. So I'm gonna assume I want to turbo boost them over there. And for that purpose, they're gonna jump down. They will not take dangerous terrain tests unless they started in a ruin, and this is not a ruin, that's just a normal building. So we're gonna jump over here. And then we're gonna try to turbo boost someone to death. Probably the Calidus Assassin, because he can only snap fire shots at her first turn. And, or even the Colexus. I think the Colexus is the most annoying one, and you can only do your hits against him on ballistic and weapon skill 1, but you can still auto hit him on full ballistic scale, because it's an auto hit, right? So we can take him out with the Screamers, probably. Should be a good idea. And then we have to see, do we actually want to attack the Eversor with my warp plans, because they don't care about much of his shenanigans. And the characters can't really necessarily deal with these brimstone horrors very well. But she has hit and run. He doesn't. So I'm going to assume we want to rob him with the brimstones, just because he doesn't have hit and run. So I'm going to move them up. And we also don't have to worry about the characters then. Like so. And the blue horrors will I think they're just gonna walk over here. They don't necessarily want to die, but they can't do much about it. And then these guys will hop over here. Try to surround the Calidus so she can't escape. And that last warp talon. Oh, he can't even actually get over there. I'm moving to here. Think the Soul Grinder doesn't really have something to do here, so I'm just gonna move him back 6 inches. I mean, we can try to make it a charge here. It's possible, but it's a very long one. Right, so shooting next, because no psychic phase here. Why not? Because the Colossus Assassin aura means I'm not going to generating any warp charges. So the only warp charge we're going to get is these blue horrors here. And we only harness warp charges on a 6, so I'm not sure if that does anything. I'm going to see how many random dice I get and then I'll decide. Okay, in this case I'm actually gonna try. Because the blue horrors are out of range, they're not within 12. So they can try to summon something. I'm going to use all 7 dice to try and summon. And we get it. And then the assassins can deny. No. Alright, so we can bring in the new unit of demons, which is nice. And I assume the best idea here will be more horrors, probably, because they blob the best. And I'm not sure if... Yeah, I'm not really sure if anything else can do it. We can summon in some mean melee units, but most of them get killed by assassins pretty easily. And I don't know, like plague bearers and stuff, I don't know. They don't really do much. We can summon in some demons for a whole lot of attacks, but doesn't make too much sense, I think. Best would probably be horrors. Let's bring in horrors. Just to go for the safe route here. Alright, so gonna bring him in. Probably here, because we have to make sure they actually land somewhere. So let's see where they land. Ew. They moved back 8 inches. That is a mishap. Yep, that is a mishap. So see what happens to them. They get into ongoing reserves. Alright, so they're here, but not yet. Alright, let's keep them here. If you're wondering, blue horrors do not have a icon or standard or anything. They are very bare bones basic. No upgrades that they can take here. Okay, that means Psychic is done, and next we go with the shooting. Sograna obviously should be facing this way. Has a harvester cannon. We're gonna use the normal shells, obviously. He's gonna hit on force only because he's not very good at shooting, and he's wounding on twos, and he doesn't. Warp Tens don't have any shooting, not even grenades, I think. Nazurov doesn't have any shooting either, but he does have grenades. That's a hit. That's nothing. Actually, it's not even a hit because you're gonna snap fire at Kalitas' first turn. So, nothing. But we will turbo boost all across here into this corner with the screamers. And all will hit the Colexus, obviously, because we need him to remove. Need him to be removed. 4, 8, 9, D3 hits. Let's see how many. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So pretty good. And it's strength 4, so wounding him on force. And that's what the assassins don't like. A lot of wounds. Because they don't have really good armor saves against that. So trying to dodge this, and he's dead. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds on him, and Colexus bites the dust. Okay, that's really good because that's gonna help out these Brimstone Horse at actually surviving combat, and everything else can try to summon again. Alright, so next is the assault phase. The Warp Talon squad is gonna attack the Kalidas. Kalidas is gonna overwatch with her Neuro Shredder. Gets one hit, wounding on a 4. Nothing. We automatically in, obviously. Yeah, no problem. So, boop. Touch her, fall over. Like so. Not getting any Hammer of Wrath anyway, because we already use it. The Soul Grinder is going to declare the charge first, because why not? The Evazor cannot overwatch with anything that could hurt him, so he's not going to do it. And that's not enough, because he needs more like, I don't know, 10 inches, 12 inches maybe. And then as the Brimstone Horrors go, he's going to overwatch, and he can do so at full ballistic skill, because of his Sentinel array. He's ballistic skill 8, so rerolling 2 4s, nope. And wounding on 2s. And that is one Brimstone Horror down. Bing. Alright, so they make their charge because it's like 1 inch. Yep, they got it. Over here, here, here. And then everybody's piling in as fast as they can. And they might deal some damage even. They might not have much strength or anything, but they're gonna blob him up, and that's all the damage they can do. Because if he's not attacking anything else, he is useless. Alright. Making it in, and the blue horse will just stand still. They don't do anything here. Screamers can't charge because they turbo boosted. Alright. So first of all, over here, the Warp Talon champion is gonna declare the challenge, because knowing they are champions of chaos, somebody has to accept the challenge anyway. Might as well accept with him and not with Nazuroth. And then the Kalidas assassin goes first, because she is the fastest by far. She has 4 basic attacks plus 2 close combat weapons, and she's hitting on 3s, and she's wounding on 4s. Nothing. Okay, so no damage dealt. Then we have the Warp Talon champion and everything, and Nazuroth. And Nazuroth is the first guy. He's gonna roll for a demon weapon. Gets 5 additional attacks. He has 3 in his basic profile. And 1 close combat weapon, and he did a charge. Hitting on 4s, because his weapon skill is lower. But that looks pretty good. And he's wounding against her leadership, so it's wounding on 4s. Because their leadership values are the same here. And the Kalidas has 4+ in-1 saves against this. Oh, she makes every single one of them except 1. So Kalidas is still going strong. But then the Warp Talons get to attack, and we see how they do. Warp Talon champion might have +1 attack. I hope so, because I always get mad when I see that Warp Talons do not have 2 attacks base, which really is terrible. Nope, he does not. Okay, so he has 2 attacks, 3 attacks, 4 attacks on the charge, because he has 2 lightning claws. Hitting not on that, because he needed more. And then his bodies all have 3 attacks, because for some reason Warp Talons do not have 2 attacks. Which makes them pretty terrible, considering their very high costs there. Okay, and wounding on 4s with shred because of the lightning claws. Okay, that's a bunch of wounds. But if she can make all of these in-1 saves again, no, she can't. Okay, she's dead. Kalidas getting killed. Okay. Consolidating here. 5 inches. We're going to consolidate to the corner so we can't get flanked again. Like so. And then the Brimstone Horror against the Evazor. The Evazor obviously has more initiative. 5 basic attacks. Hitting on 3s and wounding on 2s. Rerolling. Nothing. And that looks like 3 dead Brimstone. 1, 2, 3. Alright, and then they pie in. Initiative step 3, I think. Trying to pie around. Then everybody else tries to get into base contact with somebody who is in base contact. Then everybody else goes as close as possible. And Brimstone Horrors, as far as I know, have terrible stats. Might be strength 1, which means they can't even hurt him, because he is toughness 4. Let's see it. Brimstone Horrors have strength 1. Yeah, strength 1, toughness 1. So they can't hurt him, which means they will test for instability here. And he took out what? 3? I think so. I honestly can't remember. I think he took out 3. So leadership down is down to 4, which means they lose another 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Then they stay in close combat because they're demonic unstable, but not afraid of anything. So we just pile them in as much as we can. And there we go. He's still locked up in close combat, which is exactly what I wanted anyway. Alright, that is Demon's turn 1, which means we go to Assassin's turn 2. And Assassin's turn 2. We have Nurgle turn 1, obviously. So we have some kind of movement here. We have the Hellbrood, we have some Mutilators, and so on. And we also have to decide who we're gonna engage here. I think I'm gonna do the exact same. I'm gonna try to focus down the Calidus Assassin here. And the Aversal Assassin, I don't know what about him. The Mutilators can move forward 6 and then they charge 10, so that's too long basically. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be very sneaky here, just gonna join him with them. So he can't get sniped, and then we try to assassinate the assassin with the Raptor squad, because we have 2 melta guns and they might be able to do it. And if not, we might have enough attacks to weigh her down. The Hellbrood lost its target, so Hellbrood is gonna stomp around and take a peek at that Colexus assassin. Has a twin-linked Lascan, so might be able to get something. Oh, actually it's stunned. Whoops. Can't move. It also has to go crazed. Okay, nothing important. It doesn't have any targets, it can't charge because it's stunned, so it has to stay where it is, basically. Okay. Our little demon flock over here is gonna advance and try to help the enemy to attack them. We have few of them in dangerous terrain. That means they have to check because they jump infantry. And they have their demon saves, which one fails. Blah. And there you go. Mutilators will advance a little bit at least. They might not get into close combat this turn, but they can still try. And that should be okay. The CSM are already in close combat, so nothing to do there. And that is it. No Psychic, because we don't have any Psychic. And then we can open fire. The Caslord obviously should be in rapid firing range. Yeah, there we go. And 2 shots with the bolt gun, hitting on 6s because of polymorphine. We're still confused, but nothing happens. 2 melta guns. Nope. And then a crack grenade also misses. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total, so 5 more bolt pistol shots. No hits either. Okay, pretty much nothing in the shooting phase. So assaulting here, the Calidus is gonna overwatch with 1 shot, 1 wound, 1 Pheno pain. Perfect. Distance. Easy peasy, even with Hammer of Wrath, because we did not have to use the jump packs before. And we pie in. Like So, alright, this combat is just ongoing and nothing else can charge. So let's see what we can do. So we have 4 impact hits on initiative 10. Obviously we have to declare a challenge and she is going to accept, as always, like so. So we have 1 impact hit in the challenge. It's a wound. She's fine. And 3 impact hits from the rest. No. Then she's going to go first. She has 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's a cocked one. Oh, still only 3 hits. Wounding on 5s, no saves. Nope. She can't wound anything in this game. We have 3 attacks from the Raptor Champion. 1 hit. No, actually it's a wound. It's a furious charge. Nice. And nothing happens to her because she makes her in one save. And then on initiative 3 the rest also goes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Times 2 because of charging, times 2 because of close combat weapons, and minus 2 because of the melter guns. Alright. Hitting on force. Oh, decent enough. That one is cocked though. Gotta reroll. And wounding her on 3s because of fused charge. Not bad. Yep, that is a dead Calidus Assassin. Oh. Alright, that combat is over. We gotta consolidate with the Raptors. 3 inches. I don't think I have to bother blocking anything here because we practically don't have any space to fall back to anyway. Gonna spread at least a little bit. And then this one is ongoing. Okay, let's do the Colexus first. Colexus Assassin has 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s. 1 wound, no saves, feel no pain. And that is a dead Chaos Champion. And then we have the Verso Assassin against the Chaos Marines. He has 5 attacks. Oh, wait a second. And he hits twice, wounding on 5s now actually. Unless I use a shred. Would you use shred here? I don't think so. I'm still gonna choose to go with the power sword because I didn't declare anything. So he fails to wound. Sees Empire in. They have 3 attacks. Wounding, hitting on force, wounding on force, nothing. Okay, so they lose combat, but they finish. Pie in the Colexus, and that is ongoing. Alright, that's it. So next turn, Assassins here. We just have to replace the Calidus. Apart from that, everybody is fine. And she's gonna take vengeance on those Raptors. Alright, going over here. Outflanking. And then the Colexus and the Aversor and the Vindicator are all still alive, so we don't do anything else. No need for a Psychic Phase because he can't shoot. He's in close combat. But we can shoot with the Calidus Assassin for sure. We can get 6 hits here with the Neuro Shredder. So 6 hits, wounding on 4s. Oh, that's better. Show them what you got, lady. And, oh my goodness, 4 Phenopains made, and 1 single guy dies. They are making like a bunch of Phenopains today, my goodness. Alright, so they're good. The Winnica can take another pot shot at the Hellbrute. So hitting on a 2. And wounding, glancing on a 2. That's a pen. What happens with the pen? It is weapon destroyed. It has a 4+. Less cannon. Okay, that's the less cannon gone. It's down to 1 hull point, but it's not stunned anymore. So last cannon is gone though, so it can't Basically can't shoot as much anymore. And these guys all locked in combat, right? Yeah. All right. So charging. The Catalyst Assassin is going to declare a charge, and we have melter guns. No. Crack grenade. No. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 normal guys remaining. One hit with the bolt pistol, no wound, distance. She's in. Rah. It's like a whack-a-mole. They thought they had their no problemo. Alright, she's back. That's all the close combat we have, so let's start with her right away. We have to declare a challenge here. Not a charge, we already declared a charge. Challenge against the Raptor champion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks on the charge. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s, no saves. She can't do any damage here. So we're gonna pie in with the Raptor. Squat. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 guys. Minus 2 meltas. And the champion with his normal attacks. So champion first. Doesn't hit anything. And then the rest got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits on her, wounding on 4s, because they don't have furious charge, obviously. Not anymore. And she makes every single one of them. Nice. Okay, so she stays in combat, doesn't do any damage, but they don't do any damage to her either. And then we go over to this one. So Connexus and the Eversor. Let's go with the Connexus first. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, and wounding on 5s, no saves. God damn it, guys. I can't roll any 5s. Like, they can roll 5s for Pheno Pain, no problem, but they can't roll to wound, apparently. I'm gonna choose the Flashbane with the Eversor. I'm sick and tired of not getting any wounds here. Yep, I wouldn't have gotten a wound here, but that's 2 wounds, but they are AP dash, so they get their 3-ups and they're fine anyway. Alright, 3 CSM punching back. Hitting on 4s and wounding on 4s. Obviously on the Eversor, because they would hit the other guy on 5s and they don't want that. He fails 1, Pheno Pain. Eversor takes another wound. Alright, dropping down to 1. That's the assassin's turn here. Next assassin turn over there. We have only Eversor remaining here. So we're gonna bring in the Connexus and the Calidus. The Vinica is also still alive. And let's see where we can bring them in. So first of all, we're gonna move to cover with the Calidus. She can move 5 to here. She's basically down there. And then the Codex is gonna do the exact same. He's gonna stay in this building here. Gizmo him in here. Come on. Alright, we good. And that is it. Now the Vinica is gonna use the occurring back armor here and try to take a pot shot at that soul grinder instead. So let's give it a shot. Oh, he misses as always, but rerolling to 4s. No, even being a fantastic sniper, you can't do anything about rolling double ones, because you just have the 2-up and rerolling to a 4. Alright, so no hits from the assassin. Not even with Ballistic Skill 10 he would. That means the rest is gonna fire, because I mean the Psychocolumn works, right? Okay, we can do the Psychocolumn actually. So in this case, I misplayed last time. The Psychocolumn also tries to take away Psychic dice. So we count all mastery levels within range, which is gonna be this guy and these guys. So that's 4 shots with the Animus Speculum. plus 3 from the normal warp charge counter. That's the amount of shots he gets, because he's going to absorb the warp charges of the guys around him, if they're psychers. He is gonna hit on 2s and re-rolling because he has preferred enemy psychers and warlord, so he's extra angry against Nazuroth here because he's his arch nemesis, and he's wounding those on 3s because it's strength 5, and it has AP 1, so they're gonna get their in-1 saves here, which they make 2 of, and that means 3 wounds go through and 3 warp talents die. Alright, then back to the shooting. We're gonna toss a grenade on his head. See where that ends. Oh, it actually scatters 3 inches. Doesn't matter. It's gonna hit Nathur, and it can't. Actually, it can hurt these other guys. Let's scatter it actually. So let's see, 11. So that is 3 inches over here. It's gonna hit Nazuroth and a Screamer. So a Screamer wounded on a 6. Nope. And Nazuroth wounded on a 6. Nope. But he parrots off the warps. Oh, that's a leadership test, otherwise he's in trouble. And he didn't make that leadership test, so let's see what actually happens. I think he's removed from play. That would be a pretty fast game then. Purge of the Mob is essentially really, really bad on a 1. And you have to make a leadership test, which is mostly leadership 10, so it's not as likely to fail. But if you do, I think he just explodes or something weird. So let's check that out real quick. That would be pretty fitting that a Colexis assassin actually takes him out. Alright, Perils of the Warp. Dragged into the warp. Must take a leadership test. If the test is passed, the Psyker suffers 1 wound or glancing hit with no saves of any kind allowed, but he didn't pass. If the test is failed, the Psyker is removed as a casualty, and this unit suffers D6, Strength 6, AP 1 hits. Okay. That is pretty nuts. Okay, let's see how much inches. 5 inches. Oh no, it's D6 of them in his unit. Okay, so it's 5 hits on his unit. A wounding on 2s because it's strength 6. And in 1 saves because everything else doesn't work. And that is 2 more dead because they just have the mark of Zinj. So that is 1 warp talent, warp talent, and he is just sucked into the warp. And that looks like they're losing now because essentially the assassins won on this side. So we can pretty much discard the rest of the combat because that was the only thing. It doesn't matter how many assassins they kill. That is all they can do. And the assassins will assume they flee combat or whatever because they actually did their job and assassinated him on turn 2. Thanks to Perils of the Warp, by the way. So let's go over here to the other side and see what happens, because we can still get a tie here. Although Mordigon essentially has won, but I'm just gonna see for the narrative if he actually gets hurt or anything, or if he's just fine, because it's gonna make a difference in the next mission. So in this case, we're gonna continue with their turn, and let's see what they can pull off here. Mutilators is gonna hop forward and try to engage the Eversor. Not sure what Mortigon is gonna do. He's just gonna drive over here and try to engage the Colexis. And then they gonna walk over here and here. Hellbrute is going crazy. Not sure what he's doing though. Christ table. Christ table on a 4. Where is it? Somebody literally copied the entire freaking codex here, but did not manage to just give me a normal version. Feels bad, man. Doesn't matter. I don't think it makes any difference here. It's pretty much irrelevant. So I'm just gonna assume it can fire as normal. All right. That's all the movement because these guys are still in close combat, and over here these. I mean, yes, we can move those Furies back, but not gonna make a difference here. Let's move them back. All right. Then over here, Hybrid is gonna take a pot shot. Hits and wounds, and he makes it safe, so no issue as always. And those can't all fire, so we have to charge. Charging the Gurax here. He doesn't really make it, does he? No, he doesn't make it. So Mutilators into the Evazor Assassin. 7 inches. No, that does not look like they make it. Actually pretty close, but not close enough. Okay, in this case, let's pie in. Actually, we don't pie in. We fight before we pie in. Because the Catalyst is way faster, so she attacks first. I'm going to use poison this time. Screw my AP, I want to have some good wounding here. So wounding on 3s with poison. And it doesn't have any EP though, it's just rending. So, armor saves and Phenom Pain. Nice, so that's 2 guys dead. The champion is dead and the Meltagun is closest. Then they pie in. Into here and here and here. And then they get to attack back with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 4 attacks because they have 1 Meltagun with them. That's pretty good hitting. Hitting on 4s. And wounding on 4s. Not bad at all, actually. Not bad at all. 4 plus. Oh, she's dead. 1 Kalatis Assassin less. Consolidating. 4 inches towards here, I guess. The Evazor Assassin is gonna go next. Hitting on 3s. Rolling. Oh, come on. I hate it when it falls down after a very long time and it misses again. So, I don't like that. Alright, so wounding on 2s, rerolling. Flashbane. And 1 armor save failed. 1 Phenom Pain failed. Is 1 dead guy, is probably this guy. And the Codex's Assassin also gets to strike 4 attacks base. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s, nothing. 1 attack on the Evazor, 1 attack on the Colexus. Misses, and the Evazor on a 4. No. Fearless, so they stay locked in combat, and that is it. Okay, so that goes to Assassin turn. Assassin turn here is going to deploy a new Catalyst Assassin, because she died. Everything else here is fine. Yeah, everybody else is just fine. So she comes in right here, and she's gonna go for the primary target because he is not part of the mutilators anymore. So he's very vulnerable here. I thought he was gonna make it in close combat, but it looks like he did not. So she's gonna take a good look at his face and trying to kill him. The Vinica Assassin has to see if he has line of sight, and he does not because there's a fat Hellbrute in the way. So he's gonna take his shot at the Hellbrute again. Alright, hitting on 2. And glancing on a 2, because it's strength 10 with Turbo Penetrator. It's a pen and it has no cover. Does it explode? No, it does not, so it's just wrecked. Alright, so that job is done. And now he should... he has some line of sight on the Mutilators at least. Other than that, he still might just run and see what he can do. Alright, and then next, the Neuro Shredder is gonna attack again. Trying to hit the Warlord and a Mutilator, maybe? No, we can actually hit 2 Chaos Raptors. I think that's a better idea here. So hitting 2 Raptors, wounding them on a 4. And a Phenom Pain. Nope, that's a dead Raptor. And then wounding Gurox on a 4. That's a Phenom Pain. Nope. Yeah, he doesn't have any extra Pheno pain here, so he takes a wound to the face. Actually, he has 4 plus, which he also fails. He has a 4 plus inward save from the Sigil of Corruption, so no, nothing. Should have taken the Pheno pain first, but who cares? So he takes 1 wound to the face, and Psychic is not necessary because the Colexus is still in close combat, and that means we have our sword phase. Alright, assaulting the Gurax, and he's gonna open fire. Hits once. Wounds on a 4. Nope. Distance, she's in. Raw. Because she doesn't have to go very far here. Then we have the Evasor Assassin going first here again. Having 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, and wounding on 2s, re-rolling. Has it. And armor saves, Pheno pain. Nope, nothing, as usual. For some reason, these guys can make Pheno pain like crazy. 3 attacks from the Colexus hit, and none of them wound, as always. For some reason, he can't really wound anything. So on the Colexus and the Evasor, nothing. So that is a drawn combat with the CSM. And then we go to the Calidus. Alright, Calidus has 5 attacks and 6 on the charge. Still hitting on 3s because her ballistic weapon skill is way higher. And re-rolling once because she has preferred enemy warlord. And she's wounding him on... Oh yeah, I didn't declare. Do I want to use the face sword and ignore his inward save? Or do I want to wound him on 3? Because the 3 is obviously a better wound, right? I think we have to go with poison here. So we're going to go with 3 up poison and rending. So the poison blades, essentially. Rerolling once, 2. Nice. That is a rend. So this is a inward save, which he makes. And those here are armor saves, 3 up. And Pheno pain. Nice, that's another wound on Gurax. Cool beans. Alright, so next he's gonna have his demon weapon. Oh, he's weapon skill 1, okay. Means he has 3 basic attacks plus 1 for 2 close combat weapons. Hitting on 5s and wounding on 4s. Yeah. That's 1 wound with AP3, but doesn't matter. She has an inward save, she's fine. And he's fearless, she's fearless. They stay locked in combat unless she wants to hit and run, which she does not because it's her turn. Alright, so going into their turn, Furies will keep flapping forward over here and try to block that Vinica Assassin from shooting again. And the Mutilators will advance. However, they don't have really much space here, so I'm gonna jump the Raptors over here so they can actually engage the Calidus and help him out. And the Mutilators will advance to here, try to peel that Colexus skin off his little bones. And that should be everything we have. Alright, so no shooting because everything is in assault. So we do the Furies here. The Vinica is going to take his shot, which he doesn't make, and they will try to charge, and they don't make it, because that is not a 3-inch charge no matter what. So they're stuck there, which is really bad, because he might just toss a blank grenade and try to screw them over, but they stay where they are. And then over here, the Mutilators make it in. Fighting right there. And then the Raptors will also charge, also making it in. No dangerous terrain here because we're not using the jump packs, obviously, because we already used them to get across the guys here. Alright, so we're still in the challenge though, and we still have to go for demon weapon for attacks. But before that, the Calidus gets to swing first because she's the highest initiative by far. Hitting on 3s, rerolling once for preferred enemy, and wounding on 3s with 6s rending. So this is a inborn save, which he makes, and a armor save, which he doesn't make, and a Pheno pain, which he doesn't make. Alright, Gurok's the bloated going down to 1, so looks like he's severely injured already, and he might even die. Alright, next is him with 4 attacks. 3 attacks base, 2 close combat weapons, hitting on force. Because the demon weapon didn't screw him over this time. And wounding on force. With Flashbane with Shred, so rerolling everything. 4 wounds on her with 4 plus invuln saves. And that is 1 dead Calidus Assassin. Boom. Alright, so consolidating here. Trying to get it away from that freaking corner, because he doesn't want to get chopped off. He's almost dead here. And then the Raptors will also consolidate. 5 inches. They're gonna go in front of him. Over here. Here and here. Actually, let's take the melter gun. Not in front. Okay. And then over here we have the Mutilators and the Evasor and everything fighting. I'm gonna go for first with the Colexus, because he's already in close combat anyway. 2 hits with him. Wounding on 5s. Hey, he finally did 1 wound. And that is 1 dead guy, because he doesn't get any armor saves. Because he is a pariah after all, and he just frightens his soul. And the Evasor Assassin can choose to attack the Mutilators, but I think he'd rather kill that last Marine. So I'm gonna try to kill him. I'm gonna use the Power Sword this time. Going for quality wounds here. We got 2 wounds. Even with toughness 5. And that is 1 failed Pheno Pain, so he is dead. Okay, that means the Mutilators get to go next, using Power Fists. They are all in, obviously. They have 1 attack each, I think, which is horrible, but as far as I know, all the Chaos Elite models only have 1 attack, which sucks. Let's see, do they have 2 at least? Yes, they have. Okay, that's nice. So they have 2 attacks base, 2 close combat weapons, and charging. Okay, so at least these guys can do something. And then they're gonna hit on force, because their weapon skill is way, way lower. And wounding on 2s. Nice. Looks good. If he fails one of these, he's instant killed. Yep, he definitely failed one of them. Alright. No multi-charge though, so the Evasor is the Colexus is out of combat, and so are the Mutilators for intents and purposes. So 3 inches to here. Mutilators also consolidate 6 inches. Okay, so they're gonna move back here to secure their boss. And that is it. Okay. So last but not least, we're gonna bring in some new assassins, because we already killed some more here. So we're gonna bring in another Evasor Assassin and another Calidus Assassin. Coming in from here. Question is, can we get to the Warlord somehow? I think we can, if we get some good move through cover. 5 inches seems like a good value. So the Evasor is coming in hard from here, trying to snipe him down. And the Calidus Assassin is going to try to come in right here for her Neuro Shredder through here. And the Colexus is gonna advance to here. The Vindicator is just gonna take 1 more shot. He knows that he's screwed by those Furies, but he's gonna take that 1 shot that takes out Gurax, if he can see him, and he can. I can see the back of his bike. So I'm gonna try to explode basically the tank of the bike and kill him that way, or something like that. But before we do that, we fire the Animus Speculum. We get 2 shots because there's no Psychers around, and we can only take 2 from the Warp Charge pool. And he's gonna open fire into Gurax, obviously. So hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s because of preferred enemy Warlord, and wounding him on 5s because he's toughness 6 on the bike with Mark of Nurgle. So that's 1 wound. That's 1 failed invuln save, and that is no Pheno Pain. Alright, so Gurax is actually gunned down by the Animus Speculum, so he can't take the heat, and he also goes down. All right. But still, even though he does go down, that is still a victory for him because he went down last. But both of these guys will have some severe wound from this battle, and that means next time they um, that will have some impact on the next mission where they will take some maluses from the game. All right. So since he did win the mission, he's gonna get D3 favor points here, and he gains 1. Poor Gorax. He won the mission again. He again gains only 1 plus, and that means Nazareth is also gonna get 1 because for every mission you play, you gain a favor point disregardless. Just the winner gets the D3. Maybe I should change that to 2 so that he at least gets something. But as you can see, not really much to do here. Although it was very interesting how they died. I mean, they are supposed to live pretty long, but Grux didn't want to die there. He just fell over after the Calidus assassin caught him. But other than that, you could see the assassins are not very good against this high toughness stuff. Can't really deal much wounds to that. Although they did a good number on these blue horrors, but I mean, everybody can kill blue horrors. So that's no difference there. And I guess the additions came into play as well because the blue horse basically saved Nazareth Bacon the first turn. Otherwise, he probably would have died right away. But I mean, he got really unlucky. The Perils of the Warp was nothing you usually would expect. So I'm gonna give him some special kind of treatment for that. I'm gonna make his psychic a little bit worse because obviously he has some issues with the warp uh, of some kind. Maybe Zinch is a little bit too concerned with how fast it's going, and maybe it doesn't fit his plans, and he's screwing him over that way or something. I don't know. All right, that was it. Pretty quick mission, but it was an assassination after all. So if they're gonna lick their wounds, they're gonna get brought back by the surviving troops, and the assassins can't find them again and finish them off. But they did stop their ascension in that sense that they wounded them the next turn, and we'll see if the next game will punish them for that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys around next time. Happy wargaming!